How you doing, everybody? Back with part 2 of my ADD video. Because you know what it is, as I'm making this video, I'm doing this extemporaneously. I'm not making any bullet points. I'm just saying whatever I feel, what coming from the heart. And like sometimes it's a good place to come from, but the heart is almost, when you come from the heart, it's almost like a dream. Everything is just so intense and it's everything, but it's all jumbled up and it's stirred up. You know what I mean? Which is why you could have a dream that you're walking down the street and you see a bear across the street. It's just you're like, oh wait, why would I dream that? Oh, I was watching a nature show. Right? So it's just when you come from the heart, you're saying things, but it's all, it does. Sometimes it does. It's better to write it down. And this way you have it. You have a format, But I mean, I remember there were times, it's called comatose vegetable. Like my mom said, oh, you're a my mom must have called me a vegetable thousands of times. From grades K through 6, I must have been called a vegetable a thousand times. Easily. You know what I mean? But you figure like I mean, and the funny when you cry, and at that point like you gotta say your parents are yelling at you. Like my mom would say, like my mom would go on and on. Let me say, she would go, this person's kid he's an asshole and he gets in trouble, but at least he's good in school. What are you? God, look at the way, it's everything. It's the way you look, it's the way you act, it's the way you exactly, it's you're stupid. Dude, it's just ripping me apart. I can't even do it. I can't even right now. I want to do it right now. Maybe one day I'll make a video showing you the passion and the fire in my mother's eyes as she said this to me. Like, look me in the face and said that. I remember there were times that, I mean, listen, ADD, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to excuse my behavior. I mean, there were times that I would act out and I would do wrong as a result of my ADD. I'm not blaming that. I'm not blaming my ADD on behavior. Definitely not. Because you know what? I knew right from wrong. I knew that if I were told, hey, when you are told to stay on a certain part of the playground during recess, if you go past that certain part of the playground, you've done what you know how to do what you're told. So I'm not saying that anytime I got into trouble, that was me. You know what I mean? I that was me. Hey, boys will be boys, right? I mean, I guess you could say that, right? It was me getting into mischief. You know what I mean? I would say I'm not blaming that on behavior. Like, but again, I don't know. There are some kids who have ADD who, to such a pernicious degree, that they really can't help becoming violent and misbehaving. Like I said, ADD is always comorbid with something. Me, it's comorbid with depression, and it's comorbid with depression because of the absolutely debasing, just impertinent, hurtful words I heard from my mother and my father when I was a child. To this day, they still play in my mind. And even though I shook it off, since then I've had the validation of such better people than those two. I mean, those two. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but they really are. Like, they have no friends. I mean, everybody, they have a couple people they know they put on an act for, but I mean, they're garbage. I mean, I'm sorry to say this about them, but they are. The way they treat a kid, and they say, oh, well, look at your sister doesn't have problems like the way you do, and oh, she doesn't. Well, I can go get a FOIA, I can go get a Freedom of Information Act request about times that the police were called to my house when my sister was breaking things and throwing things, and because her boyfriend wouldn't pick up the goddamn phone. So yeah, we could do that. If you really want to do that, we could do that. And like I said, and they don't think let me tell you, maybe I should start telling some secrets. Hey Rachel, booga booga. Yeah, I wonder if I played that recording. I wonder how well that would go over. Wonder how well your job would take that, huh? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut the fuck up. That's what I thought. Bitch, shut the fuck up. That's exactly what I thought. Shut your fucking mouth. Keep my name out your fucking mouth. That's exactly what I thought. Because like I said, there was at Sunday dinner time conversation, which just, I mean, I'm sorry. I meant this is, like I said, I'm not blaming everything on ADD. Like, let me tell you, when I went to go take the EMT class, let me just tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go. Like, I'll go back and re-edit this at some point and show what I'm, and talk about my symptoms of ADD. But like, there were times I would go to make tea and I would get my cup ready. I'd put my cup like, check this out. and I have a teacup right here, right? I have my cup ready, right? Got your cup ready, right? So you turn around, you know, I'm boiling some water, I put my cup down, right? So I turn around, I come back to the other side of the kitchen. What's happening? My water's boiling, I'm still waiting. For some reason, I would turn around, grab another cup from the cupboard, and put it on the table, right in front of me. So then when the water would really come to like a rolling boil and I saw it coming out, like once again, I don't know why I would do this, but just I'd go, grab another cup, take it back to me like over where the tea is boiling, and put it on the table. So then now when it came time to pour the tea, I had 3 teacups in front of me. Like, I did that completely off of instinct. I don't know what was going on. When I went to go take the EMT course, it was actually I don't know if it's a funny or a sad story, but I would, the procedural aspect, it just got me, man. I mean, I would, like, when I went to go take the final portion of the exam, right, they, all right, there's something called a contraindication. That means you can't give somebody a certain drug or administer a certain treatment because it will have pernicious, it will perniciously impact the patient. Okay, for example, if someone's blood, usually the protocol for giving someone with angina, you know, chest pain, is giving them nitroglycerin, right? You can't give them nitroglycerin if their blood pressure is beneath a certain amount. I think it's like 110/70 or something like that. Or if they've taken erectile dysfunction drugs, okay? During this test, I took someone's blood pressure by the way, I'm not talking the one that digitally reads the, you know, I did this in 2009, okay? 2008, 2009, okay? So I'm talking about one that you had to squeeze all the way and listen for the sound of the systolic and diastolic, right? So what would happen was, I got the blood pressure. It was like maybe the guy's blood pressure was like 180 over, 120 over fucking 80 or something like that, right? So it's, you know, high enough to give nitroglycerin to the normal protocol. Now, they said during the test that for scenario purposes, we're gonna make the blood pressure 110/60, something like that. Now it's too low. When I administered the nitroglycerin, I went with the blood pressure. I went with the BP that I had gotten from the cuff that I administered. So I had killed the patient. So I failed that portion of the test. I did not do well. It's funny how after 2 months of drinking and smoking myself to sleep, I went in to take the refresher course, and I said, "Ma'am, listen, I know you guys are doing like the course today, you're doing the stations today, but I have no business taking this test. I have not studied, I don't recall." I went in there and I passed like 5 out of 6 stations or something. I think I went, yeah. I passed like 4 out of the 5 we did, and they said, "Okay, now you could just come in and take the other stations with everyone else at some other date." I took I did the AED portion of it, the cardiac. Then I came in and it was extricating someone from a vehicle, which I only had to practice 1. If you ask me, like, I went in there and I nailed like 4, just 4 out of 5 stations. Like, just, it just happened to be that day. Some days it doesn't act up. Like, some people don't believe me when I tell them I have ADHD. They're like, "Barry, I've seen you go in and just nail tests. What are you talking about? You have that problem." I'm like, "It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does." Funny, the more intensity and the more stress you think is involved, like the more of an emergency it is, the less frazzled I get and the more focused I am. That's what's funny about it, that if even like when I got shot, the police, commented on how calm I was. Like, the more of an emergency it is, the less frazzled I get and the more focused I am. It's funny. Well, I'm gonna end this video right here. I want to thank you for watching. Like I said, I still, like, to this day, the words that, those words that play in, you be careful what you say to your kids, man, when they, when they have trouble concentrating, because it will stay with them the rest of their lives, man, the rest of their lives. Like I said, I know I'm not the only one, and I'm sorry if some of you, if this brought back painful memories for you, but everybody, have a wonderful day.